Right, we can. Okay, we are here, and let me see. You should be able to see my screen to show. I want to show you my slides. Yeah, there it is. And yeah, that's cool. Okay, right. So, hi everyone. We're going to just start, and I hope you can hear me well. I hope you can see me well. You can actually tell me that you are joining this, because this time I am live streaming on YouTube as well. So you can just comment, and yeah, it would be lovely to know where you are joining from. And I chose this topic because, of course, in this COVID time, it is so difficult, so difficult to cope with all these changes going on, to cope with all the pressure of this confined lifestyle. So I did a lot of research, the modern ones from Forbes magazine, Harvard Business Reviews, and also I used my favorite ones, which are up from the Himalayas, and I picked some of these very empowering mindsets, which I am hoping, really hoping, that it will help you, and it will give you a more empowering state of mind, empowering state of emotions. Okay, right. I will just quickly see if anybody's typing or not. Um, okay, right. So we are just starting. I will just quickly check on my channel if there is. Yes. Okay, it's happening. Right. If anybody comments, I should be able to see it directly there. And yeah, it's okay. So yeah, I was just checking if it is broadcasting everywhere. Okay, great. So let's start. So the first one, the first, I'll just show you, is growing the mindset of a self-reflector. Now, what do I mean? Before we actually dive into it, we need to understand that before we start reflecting on situations that has happened, we need to kind of prepare ourselves for few, even milliseconds, that I am not perfect, no one else is perfect, and it's okay to make mistakes. Because why I'm saying this is because self-reflector is a person, when you are making a mistake, you reflect on it. But there's a big difference of, after making the mistake, feeling guilty, or reflecting on the situation. We will dive a bit deeper into it, but wait a moment. So do you understand? So that's the first step of creating the state of being a reflector. Now, what do I mean by exactly reflecting? Is not just, oh, I did such a mistake, I'm terrible. That is a victim state of mind. So not that, but reflecting what triggered it. Because if you have studied a bit about the power of mindsets, or read some articles from credible sources, you will always see that the strength is in creating a gap between the trigger and the reaction, because we are constantly reacting to situations. So the key is to increase that gap. So after we make a mistake, we just take a moment and we just reflect what triggered it, what were the triggers, and then how I reacted it. Also reflect on how were my feelings. Was it my heart pumping? Or if it is, for example, you got angry with someone, was it your head kind of like bursting out? It happens to me, for example, when I'm really angry. I try not to be, but again, we are all human beings. So observe what were the triggers. Number two is, what can I do next time? Is there a trigger I can detect in this process? And when I see it next time, how can I work on it? How would I respond on that trigger and not react on it? So this is very powerful actually. Just after a situation happened, you come back to it and just give few minutes, closing your eyes, just thinking what happened, and not as a person who is guilty of some made a mistake, but as a reflector. You reflect on it. Now I have a, one second, um, I have a question for you, and it is very powerful. You can write it during your bedtime instead of looking at social media and falling asleep or some negative newses. Just do this journaling, which is how many times you made a mistake recently, and instead of feeling guilty, you reflected on what caused it. Okay, right. Can you see my slide? For some reason, I think the internet went down a bit. Maybe. And is it back? No. Right. I'm gonna, unfortunately, for some reason, this streaming is in very bad condition. I guess it is my internet. I'm living in an island. Probably that's why. But I'm gonna carry on. I'm gonna carry on. And yeah, because Anya is saying that you guys cannot see my screen. I mean, of course I can. And can you hear? Can you hear, guys? You can type. Can you hear? Right. So if you can hear, I will carry on because right. Okay. And let's see if it changes if I change it to my view. Right. Oh, Irina says, I can see you on Facebook. We can see you. Fantastic. For some reason, Anya's laptop on her, cool, cool. Okay, so you can see it on Facebook. Fantastic. So that's great. Okay, so I will move forward. And thanks for joining, Irina, by the way. Right. Okay. So where were we? I'm really sorry about this. Yeah, living in an island comes with a cost as well. So coming back to the journaling question is that please reflect on it, and you can do it either in the morning, you can do it in the evening before going to bed. And before going to bed is actually the power hour, how we start the day and how we finish the day. Both are really a power hour. So please do that. Okay, now the next point is growing a mindset of a self-carer. Now, self-carer is connected with self-compassion, self-love. But nowadays, there is so much of delusion, so much of misconception about self-care, about self-love. And it has become almost like a cliche, to be honest with you. And the biggest thing is that I actually explained it very nicely in my course as well, is the biggest one of the misconception is self-care means, oh, I am just having a bubble bath. Oh, it is, but it is much more than that. That's only 1%, but there is so much more to it. Self-care is like, oh, I'm just going to watch TV today and not do much, and because I'm caring for myself. Sorry, that is not exactly self-care. Also self-care, oh, I'm just gonna, have some drinks. That is not self-care. I will reward myself with lots of drinks. These kind of things, people misinterpret self-care as those rewards or as those habits. Now, this is what is real self-care, which I covered partially last week also. quickly forgiving ourselves when we make a mistake. That is self-care. When you are not progressing, you are struggling, it is taking time, show patience to yourself. That is self-care. And I can raise my hand totally on this subject because sometimes I'm very slow because of my limitations, my dyslexia, my ADHD. Even though I do long meditations, 45 minutes every day, still I have a lot of problems focusing. So, showing patience to yourself is self care. Similar things, this kind of deeper level care for yourself is self care. Showing love to yourself as a friend. When you again make a mistake, talk to yourself as a good friend. That is real self care. So, the in this next point is that we need to grow a mindset of a self-carer, because if we cannot care for ourselves, how can we expect to care for others? Now there are two ways, the two analogies I have to explain to you. Maybe let me show you, tell you the first one. Tell me the modern one, which I recently came across in Forbes magazine actually, is when we board a flight, there is an emergency situation, oxygen mask drops. What is the instruction? Instruction is put the mask on yourself first, then to your child or whoever you are attending. Why? Because if you can't save yourself, you can't save your loved ones. So I hope it makes sense to you. That is the analogy you need to remind yourself, that you need to save yourself first. Then only you would be able to, and just kind of ingrain this concept in your mind, because we very easily tend to help our, like, dedicate time for our children, our partners, because we want to do a lot, and that shows, of course, we have a good heart. That's a great thing to give credit to ourselves, but we have to show the love to ourselves first. And let me quickly, because time is running, I will explain you quickly. Again, I explained this in my courses also. Is a monk told me something. I posted it on Facebook if you have seen it. Is a monk told me once that, Shubho, if you want to give more love, show love to yourself first. If you want to be patient with your loved ones, show patience to yourself first. If you want to forgive others, forgive yourself first. Because treat your mind or your heart, which are connected, just like a bowl. We can't pour out from an empty bowl. So keep pouring the love, affection, care, forgiveness, patience into this bowl. And it will be very easily reflected to your loved ones naturally. You don't have to even put effort. I promise you. I have seen this profound experience, and I have seen this profound effect on myself for the last 3 years. Next one is a question again. Journaling. You don't have to do it today. Do it tomorrow. I will send you the slides if you want, and do it one by one. Is how many times last week you gave focus to yourself intentionally, and you created boundaries? Because I know many people who took part in my courses, my workshops before, they have children and they have husbands, and they, even for their meditation, they could not create a simple boundary that this 15 minutes is my time, don't disturb me. She, usually it happens with women actually, she just gave everything. It can be applicable to men also, but when you just give everything, it is very difficult to create a space for yourself where you experience deeper level care for yourself, deeper level joy for yourself, happiness for yourself. And again, we cannot pour out from the empty bowl. So it comes back to that. So hope you understand and hope you realize it. Please do it intentionally. When you do the journaling, you yourself will realize many things, many insights would come up outside of this workshop. Okay, so the next one, growing a mindset of what is good in it. Now this one is, hope you can see my slide. Let me just double check. Whoops, you cannot see my slide because I changed the view. Okay, I'm changing the view again, and now you should be able to see the slide. I'm so sorry. I will quickly show you my previous journaling question. Exactly, this is the one, so that you can pause the video if you're watching a replay, and this was the other slide. Okay, now the third one is growing the mindset of what is good in it. I will give you my example, and that should explain the whole point, which is when I got locked down here, COVID hit in this island. I'm living for last 7 months, very fortunate. But first, at the beginning, I was hit with a panic, and panic is, oh no, we came here only for 1 month, by the way, and then we decided to stay for 7 months. So clothing and other things, no problem. But my diabetes medicine I brought only for just more than 1 month, about 2 months. So there was a first a big panic. Shit, um, that what am I gonna do now? Where is the medicines? I tried to buy the medicines here locally, but it did not work because I have tried the same similar medicines back in Europe, and because they did not work. So I knew I'm in a problem. So the panic attacked, but at the same time, we were in a piece of paradise. We're living on a beach, and we don't want to get rid of that and be stuck in Krakow, for example, or India, where things are just crazy. So one side, I was not having the things which I needed, necessity, and another side, I had a choice to go back. So I trained myself, reminded myself again what a monk told me up in the Himalayas, that Shubho, when you are in difficult situation, remind yourself what is good in this situation, what is good in it. Now that I squeezed out, I really squeezed out, meditated over it. Then I tried to really, then I saw the different goodness it can happen. First is the opportunity to try to cure my diabetes, which I have for last 7 years, and I always pushed it away because I was in the comfort zone. Now if I have medicine I can take, what is there to push myself out of the comfort zone? Which means I have to go on diet, I have to change the timings, I have to do intermittent fasting, I have to go for jogging, and I'm not a very sports person. You can say that by my physiques. I'm not a muscular person. So all those things, I have to do it regularly. I have to stop eating street food, which I love. So many other things, so many sacrifices. But I saw the opportunity that this will push me out of my comfort zone to cure my diabetes. And I'm very happy to say that at this moment, I have managed to, by after 7 months, it actually happened already. I saw the effects after 3 months, 4 months, it gradually grew. And now I'm on the 7th month and I have cured it 70%. So there's always good in a situation, and you need to figure it out. Remind yourself, grow that mindset. It will serve you, I promise. Okay, so the next point is, there is no journaling for this point. Exactly. Now the next point is, I am not a victim. This is so crucial, because when we make a mistake, wow, okay, I think I need to hurry up, time is ticking. But this is so important, that when you make a mistake, first thing is, I am not a victim. I am not a victim of this situation. How can I solve the situation? So you program yourself, moving the focus from the being a victim, that it happened, and being crippled by the worry of the consequences of the situation to the solution. How can I solve it? I know I'm in big shit at the moment, but how can I solve it? There must be a solution. Just squeeze out, do every strength you have in your mind, in your body, and focus on the solution. I will give you now my example once again, which I wrote on the post, that how I almost lost $75,000 within minutes, but thank God I didn't. Thanks to something else, I will just explain to you. Now, what happened is, and this happened about 10 years ago. So $75,000 10 years ago was much more valuable. What happened is I was just starting, my reputation was going really quite big, and I just got a big group, or somebody signed a contract, and I got a group of 56 people. So cutting long story short is, we were arranging everything, of course, from the travel to the flights. Now for the flights, we were not so experienced for such a big group. Now some mistakes happened from me and my team members, and we forgot to pay the second installment. The first installment was about, yeah, approximately, I think it was £1,000, something like that. And then we forgot to pay the second installment. Because of that, they cancelled all the flight. They released all the seats. And oh my God, believe me, I cried. I'm a man, and I'm laughing now, but I still remember I just cried whole afternoon, being helpless, that no solution. And because I was trapped in my mind of the consequences, that all the hard works I did, I'm going to lose it all, because this is such a big group. This is such a reputable group of people who are coming, and the word will spread that we are not professional. Those worries just crippled me, and I was just crying, literally crying. Then, because I was in a victim mode, I could not find a solution. But when Amia saw this situation, she figured out a solution, and she bought the flights through another way, because she was not part of the business, so she was not feeling like a victim like me. And there is a solution always. And she found a solution, and I didn't lose $75,000. So that is what I'm trying to explain to you, is that really it is so easy to say it, but it is very powerful if we can practice it even in a small scale, even with the micro step. Why? Because everything from showing compassion to yourself, to not practicing, not being in the victim mode, so in the victim state of mind, all starts with the baby steps. When you do it on a regular basis, when the adversity comes, when the big challenge hits you, you are ready. You automatically think from your subconscious level, and certain you automatically your mindset shifts to the more empowering one. I promise you, I have seen it myself, not only as a victim, but also in an empowered. I don't have time to give you another example, otherwise I would have given. So there is a second journaling. If you would like, I really invite you to do it. Maybe during the weekend, ask your partner to do it also. Why do it alone? Show your love and kindness to them as well. And this is nothing religious, this is nothing esoteric, this is pure high level psychology, empowering state of mind, which all the different coaches, life coaches, teach. So can you think about one situation when you were crippled by a mistake you made? You were crippled by the worries of the consequences. So that is the fourth point. And the last point is, one second, growing the mindset of impermanence. Just remind yourself, this one is a very deep subject, and you really have to join my actually courses for this one to dive deep, because it's not possible. We can spend hours understanding it, but it's a very powerful one. So let me give you little just an idea. What do you think is permanent here in this world, in this life? Are we permanent? Our body is permanent? No, we know that. Are the food we eat permanent? No. Are the feelings permanent? No, because the feelings comes and goes. They come in waves. Emotions comes in waves. Even the material things, the table I'm sitting, the chair, is it permanent? No, it's made of wood. Eventually, it will decay. Is the building permanent? No, it will change. Is the sea, the beach I'm living right in front, permanent? No, I can see the difference for the last 7 months, how it's changing. Nothing. If you look at everything to the molecular level, nothing is permanent. So use this concept when you are in a difficult situation. Remind yourself, this will pass. Nothing is permanent in this world. And you can try to figure out what is permanent, and dig deeper. And you will find a lot of good answers yourself. So remind yourself, when you are in a difficult state of mind, you are challenging, you are just going slowly, slowly. The goal is very far. Remind yourself, this is not permanent. These difficulties are not permanent. Also, on the contrary, when you are in a very joyful state, everybody kind of praising you, you are feeling proud. Also remember, this brings humility. This will not last forever. So be humble. This is not permanent. So this is another very powerful mindset. Okay, so that's all. And let's do quickly, just 7 minutes. I know we are slightly late because I always extend and there is always technical problem. So today we will do a calm abiding meditation. Oops, my aircon was on. And for this, there is no music. It's just focusing your breath to make you relaxed. And just a technique, you can do it when you're stressed, highly stressed. You can easily do this technique and you will see the calmness straight away, almost. And do it 2-3 times, you will definitely see the effect. Okay, so sit in a comfortable position, and now just keep your spine comfortably straight. Take just few deep inhale and exhale, counting 1 to 10. And without any pressure today, just sit very comfortably with your palms facing up on your lap, on a chair, wherever you are sitting. And inhale without interfering too much. And exhale, just count comfortably 1 to 10. Inhale and exhale 1 to 10. Inhale and exhale 1 to 10. For the last time, inhale and exhale with a sigh. And just feel any sensation on your hands, on your palms, feet, calf muscles, knee, thigh muscles, around your waist. See any sensations if you can feel or not. Check your chest area. Check your back. Anything you can feel, irritation, stiffness. Shoulders, your arms, fingers, your neck area, any tension, your face, eyebrows, forehead, your head, back of your head. Just breathe naturally without interfering and focus on the gap between your inhale and the gap between your exhale. Try to focus the gaps between the inhale and the exhales. And if thoughts are coming, just observe them. Just observe them as a outsider, as an observer. As if you are sitting in a cafe and through the window you see people passing by. Your thoughts are those people. You don't follow them. You just observe them. Same way, just observe any thoughts coming and try to focus between the gap of inhale and exhale. And if you hear some sounds, just acknowledge them and leave them where they are. And now remind yourself of the motivation, who I want to become today. It is not the goals I want to achieve. It is who I want to become. more of my own authentic self, more of my true self? Is it more forgiving person I want to become? Is it more joyful person I want to become? Or is it more confident person I want to become? Or is it fearless person I want to become? Or it can be anything you want. You decide who you want to become today. Set a motivation for today and see how you are behaving once you become that person today. Now gently bring back the attention to the room. And I thank you for taking part in this session, workshop. I really hope it serves you. Please do share it with some other friends who need this support during these COVID times. And please do join my Facebook group if you haven't. And if you are inside my Facebook group, please show the support of breaking the algorithm of Facebook by liking or commenting time to time. It really helps. And yeah, and I wish you a very beautiful rest of the weekend, meaningful time with your partner, friends, whoever is around you. Take care. Have a beautiful day. Any questions, any ideas you have, you would areas you would like to have support, just let me know. I would be happy to work it out. Take care. Bye bye then. Have a beautiful day.